right where you are, you're sitting in an electrical matrix of energy beyond belief, or most human conception. You'd be surprised to know how much knowledge and communication can be carried on its waves.
All right, here we are, and I'm not sure what episode or session I'm not supposed to say, so we are going to get right into making sense of, what is it, print? What is it called again, Reagan?
Making sense navigating digital and print marketing.
There you go, Pete. Did you know that's what we're going to talk about today?
Yes, making sense. But I say we make dollars and cents.
Oh my gosh, this is like Wolf of Wall Street here, man. You got, yeah.
Woo! Let's go, baby.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
you
pumped
up. You're prepared. You got like notes.
Fired up. I got 2 diet sodas. Got my water. Got my notes. I'm ready.
We're going to give you one of these too. You like that?
Oh yeah, coffee is for closers.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie, right?
Nice. Yes.
So do you do this? Do you have like a little sales meeting at Dream Huge Realty? Get them all fired up and everything?
Oh yeah. We get fired up at least once a week. Motivated mindset. I'm a student of it.
Okay.
Reading it, absorbing it, consuming it. You are what you listen to.
Oh, all right. We're already, look at that. We're not even a minute into this, and
yeah, and I'm going off already. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Am I going on script yet?
No, there's no script.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why you brought one, but there is no script.
Thanks for having me, by the way, Bill.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
But you are what you listen to, and it's so true. And we listen to rap music, and we listen to metal or whatever we listen to, and it literally does brainwash you. And I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
And growing up, and I still love it. But you become what you listen to. So that's okay to listen to that music because it's cool or whatever, But also listen to the motivational stuff too. Your Grant Cardones, your Dale Carnegie's, I'm dating myself with some of the older guys, but some of the newer guys.
I'm going to interrupt once.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that Tommy listens to?
Alex Hermosi.
Do you know that guy?
Yes, Alex Hermosi. All of them.
Okay.
Listen to them every day because by the time we were 18, we have been told, no, you can't do that, or no, it's impossible, or no, shut up and sit down, millions of times. So we have to reprogram our brain to believe that, yes, we can do it. And you do that with mentors, with self-improvement materials, and just, reprogramming yourself. And surrounding yourself with a good network of folks, because your network is your net worth.
You're always like, what, your 5 closest
Absolutely,
people?
yes. So here's one for you.
Okay.
So you hear that stat tossed around youth sports all the time. Okay, don't even think about going pro because only 0.0001% will ever even make it pro.
Right.
True stat. I agree. But how many kids of professional athletes turn pro?
Right.
What's the stat on that one?
Yeah.
It's a lot greater because they have the mentorship, they have the positive influence in their life. So that's why it's so important to track that stuff, follow it, and take action on it.
Wow, good stuff.
Yeah,
we are getting.
Shut her down. We're done, baby.
That's it. Mic drop. But is that hence Dream Huge Realty? Like, is that part of? That name kind of says it, right? Is that part of this whole?
Yeah.
By the way, where'd you? I know your dad had a business, right?
Yes.
There's a lot about Pete we got to learn here because I know there's. Let me just.
How long are we going here?
Oh, as long as you want. I got to play music at the football game at
Okay.
5:45, so we got all day. But no, you've been in a band, right? So I moved to Lucas 30 years ago,
Yeah.
and I didn't really know you, but I heard, and you had a couple of cool songs and different things people would talk about you. And then I go to get a battery, an Interstate battery, right?
Yeah.
Now that was from your dad, but you
Yes.
ran it, or do you still run it? Or?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I got that. Then the Dream Huge Realty.
Yes.
And then I started hearing you bodybuilder or something, so I was like, I didn't even know that part.
Yep.
And then I know the landlord because you helped out with a friend of mine that was renting from you, and
Absolutely.
you were trying to be kind to him and stuff. So is there some others? What else have?
I need to be busier. I need to do more. You can only have one job, but you can own multiple businesses.
Okay.
And the more businesses that you own, and the more people you can help, so ultimately the more successful you will be.
I like it. Yeah.
It's not about selling. It's about helping others. And when you can choose businesses where you can scale and you can help more people, then ultimately you're going to be more successful. We still do all of those things, and we're still growing all of those things. And you can be passionate and do multiple things at once and excel in all of them. So I get that one a lot. How do you do this and that? I'm like, well, teams and people.
Okay.
You know, so I'm going to get back to my script here. I wanted to start off
Oh,
with
all right.
huge thank you to my parents. There's no way any of this is possible without them. We talked about the mentorship. We talked about the professional athlete parent.
Yeah.
Will have a better odds of having a professional athlete child. Well, it's no different. So that's why if you don't have mentors like that, you have to get them in your life. But yeah, nowhere close without my parents. They were entrepreneurs from the start. They started off a mom and pop Shell gas station in Akron, Ohio, and got into the battery business from there. Moved here to Mansfield.
What road was Mansfield? You know.
It was open territory.
Oh, okay. For interstate.
Yeah, it was a virgin territory. Nobody was here. They opened up shop right here in Lucas.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
It was in Lucas?
Yeah, right where the Dollar General is.
Oh my gosh,
Yep.
okay. Didn't know that.
And opened up a shop there, then moved to Mansfield, and we grew that over the years. But yeah, they always had that entrepreneurial mindset, just pushed. And Dad was always very data driven. Like, he'd say, that's a good idea, but let's break that down. How much money would that actually make you? Blah, 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 blah. You know, and he'd say, let's put it on paper. And he was always, I'm a big Grant Cardone guy, 10X. And Dad was giving me 10X really before we even knew what that was. He's like, if you want to do that, you need to do it 1,000 times or 100,000 times and focus on it until you get it right. You know, and he did.
That's the 10X. That's what it means.
Yeah, 10X. It's the key to success in any business is your efforts need to be 10 times what you're currently doing. Essentially, that's the gist of the book.
Okay.
So everyone fails because they underestimate the amount of effort it takes to succeed. So whatever you're currently doing, 10x that's where you need to be.
Can I share you one of my failures in a story?
Please.
About my bodybuilding career. So when me and my wife were first married, and I don't know what happened, why I did this, but anyway, I'm like, here, can you take some before pictures? So I was in my shorts or whatever, and my wife took some pictures, and I turned around. And like 5 years later, I found those pictures, we were moving or something, and I didn't really do anything to change anything. And I realized I looked pretty good 5 years ago. So then I realized I don't have to do anything, and I'll always think I looked good 5 years ago. That was my plan. It's -5.
-5.
Yeah,
that's your
-5.
book. Is it coming out?
Yeah, I'm going to start working on it. -5. Well, you know who's actually
I want to see the
second.
pictures.
I wonder if he's any. I gotta find him. Roy, because I hope he's all right. Like Roy, who's the guy at the gym?
Roy Leedy.
Yeah, is he doing all right?
My man. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He helped to change my life.
Okay, because that's the story. Was he was like 50-some years old, benching 500
Yes.
pounds, and that's when that story came. Because when Roy was sharing, so I bought some equipment for the gym down here from him, and he shared that story. Or no, he was sharing his story. I know what it was. He said that. Something about it with his ex-wife, and he went 6 months and he missed his work. He goes, and I thought, what if I never miss a workout? That was what he told me.
Yeah.
And he's benching, 500 pounds at like 50-some years old. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Roy, no wonder I didn't get there, because that was my story. That was my joke I told him. But
Yeah.
is he doing all right?
He's doing good.
Good,
And
thank
he's the
God.
type of guy, if he wasn't, he would never tell you.
Okay.
But he is doing
'Cause I
good.
know he's going through some health stuff. and I
Yeah,
don't-
yep, he's fighting some cancer, man, but he's Roy,
Awesome.
so he's gonna
Okay.
beat it.
So that's wild. He's one of your.
Yeah, I love that guy. And that goes back to another Grant Cardone quote: "Be obsessed or be average."
Ooh, okay.
Be obsessed with whatever you do, or just you're gonna be average at it.
Okay.
So Roy, he was all in, obsessed. And he became one of the world's best. He influenced me by when I started doing CrossFit, and I would roll in there hungover. I'd opt for the afternoon class or the evening class and do it half-ass. And he says, "No, Pete." He's like, "You need to get in here in the mornings."
Okay.
And he burnt that into my mind, and that on top of just the work ethic that he would preach. And he turned me into a morning workout guy.
So is that what got you into the bodybuilding and the fitness? Was that...
I had done some bodybuilding before that, but he kind of changed my mindset on you're going to be honest the night before. You're going to be a good boy the night before, because I'm going to kick your ass. And he doesn't
Right.
cuss,
Okay.
but he says, I'm going to kick your ass in the morning.
Wow. Okay.
So I said, okay. So I changed my lifestyle.
Really?
Yeah, and so I'm in there 6 o'clock every morning. Now, he has his own home gym and he does some private clients now. So I don't see him as much, but yeah, he changed my life.
Now, do you have other siblings?
Yes, I got a brother up in New York. He's a toy designer for Fisher Price.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So do you think did he get a lot of the same stuff your parent, because you were talking about your dad.
Yes.
And so I was wondering if that permeated the whole family.
Absolutely. You want to be a toy designer? Draw 1,000 Batmobiles, and turn it into me.
Really?
Yeah, and he would, and he did, and he would, and he's now designed like 10 Batmobiles for Fisher Price
Oh
in
my
real
God.
life.
That is cool. I didn't know that till right now.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
He's worked with all types of brands, as far as, Star Wars and SpongeBob, you name it.
Wow.
Yeah, any brands that come through in the toy aisle, you've seen it. Fisher Price, my brother probably worked on
That
it.
is super cool.
Yeah.
So and your mom and dad, everything good? Like, how were they right now?
Yeah, they're good. They're retired. We were hanging out with them last night. They go to Florida about 6 months out of the year, and they're just enjoying retirement. So yeah, huge shout out to mom and dad. They got me started as an entrepreneur and boosted my career as a real estate investor as well. And again, I'm getting back to my script and my wife.
Okay.
My wife,
Okay.
would be nowhere without her. Lisa's amazing, and I'm the one out there doing
Right.
stuff like this. And people see her and they're like, how does he do so much? And she just kind of irks her a little bit, because behind the scenes, I couldn't do it without her.
Yep.
She does so much to help hold everything together, and to help push things forward. So huge shout out to Lisa. So.
I gotta say the exact same thing. My wife, I'm nowhere near as got all this. Like I said, I'm -5x. But no, I'm kidding. But I got stuff going on, running around. And same thing. You get all this credit, people, and your poor wife's at home slaving and really not getting much of the recognition. But we know that's it. That's the rock, right?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Lisa,
That's
thank
cool.
you. Thank you, baby.
Where'd you meet her? Did you meet her in Lucas?
She's a Lucas girl. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Mount Zion Road. I used to ride my dirt bike over there, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Her dad was okay with you at first.
Yeah, well, lucky for me, Dad had moved to Arizona.
Oh.
And it was a single mom situation. So,
Oh, okay. So you
yeah.
didn't have to deal with any of that.
Yeah, so
Oh, all right.
his loss was my gain.
There you go. That was good. A good start.
Yeah.
So that is to the core of your, and again, you want to get back to your script anytime, but
Yeah.
so you've got real estate, what did you say, real estate development, that's what you would call having to build apartments and things like that, you got rental properties and you got,
Yes.
commercial properties too or something?
Yeah, so let me see. I wanted to touch on mindset a little bit first.
Oh,
We
okay.
talked about that, relationships. Okay, this is a big one for me, and then I'll get into the real estate and why we go pedal to the metal and never let up. Social Security Administration did a study. Out of 100 people on average, 100 retirees in America, only 4 retire financially secure, and only 1 retires wealthy.
Ooh, boy.
That means only 5%.
Yeah.
The rest are either dead or retire broke, or don't never retire, have to continue to work. So 5% is where we're aiming to be. So that's another one that I get. Why do you continue to push so hard? Because of that. Emergencies could happen, COVID could happen, unforeseen market things could happen, a medical emergency and with a friend or a family could happen, someone in your community might need help, your church might need help, who knows?
Yeah.
What could happen. So that's why success is your duty, your obligation, your responsibility. It's nothing about greed. It's about making more than enough so when there is yourself or someone else in a time of need, you are there to help.
Right.
So that's why we're going to continue to push and never let up.
Oh yeah, how old are, we said it earlier, but how old are you again?
46.
Okay, yeah.
Good. Another thing I wanted to say about entrepreneurs and just getting started and just taking action. Good entrepreneurs are actually dumb. This is my take on this.
Okay.
We're not smart, all right? We are actually dumb enough to just go ahead and try it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you agree?
Yeah. Oh, we started our business, our whole family's like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, we did it, we're like the dummies, we're like, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you didn't know every step, you just knew the next step.
Right, yep.
And that's how we roll. And I preach that to all the agents on the team. I'm like, you guys, we've all been there. We're nervous. We just got our license. I'm like, that's fine. You've got all this experience on the team. We've all been there. You just need to say, I can do that. And then leverage us to help you figure it out.
Yeah.
So always have that I can do that attitude and then figure it out later.
You know what's funny? My parents didn't have business, entrepreneur stuff. When you said that, and now that you just said that, my mom always said, "What are you? An American. What's the last 4 letters? I can. You can." We got that drilled into us. So just what you just said, you can. I mean, it was always the mindset, like, you can go do it. Just go do it.
Fantastic. And that came from Mama.
My mom, yeah. My dad was like a union factory guy.
Yeah.
He was content, yeah, which nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But in fact, here, I'll throw a little story in there.
Please.
So, I think the most my dad ever made was like $35,000 a year. I don't know why it's stuck in my head. You know, it was back in the 70s and stuff. I graduated high school '82. I couldn't find a job, so I got into sales. And, you know, luckily for some reason I started to work out. I'll never forget this buddy of mine. So you talk about a mentor and the people you're around, right?
Yeah.
And this is the silliest thing, but one day we're talking, and I said, man, if I could just make 35. Like, that was my mindset. And I went all through college, high school, you know, never heard, I don't know why, I never heard anything different. He goes, why can't you make 55? I'm like, I don't know. He goes, you're the only one not stopping you from that. And as stupid, simple as that was, it blew me away. Like, I was like, yeah, why can't I do this? I guess I could if I try, I want to. And when I at least set the goal.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that, yeah, my mind, and I think often what you said, and I think when talking to high school kids and younger kids, like, that's what I'm always amazed at, is what people can accomplish that they don't even know they can accomplish what they can accomplish.
Right.
I threw you off your script, sorry.
No, not at all. When the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Oh. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You weren't ready until that person said, your friend said, hey, you can make 55.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, now you're ready all of a sudden. You know, we have an agent who's amazing at the team, John Pavlansky.
Yeah.
He's going to make a ton of money this year. Yeah, I'm like, you can do the math. If he does 10 million in sales and 3%, he's going to do 20 million in sales this year.
Yeah.
At 3%.
Well, okay,
Do the
real
math.
quick backstory. So I know another real estate agent, right? Tommy's all about the social media guy he uses, right? And I don't understand it. In fact, here a quick story on that. Tommy's telling me, I go, what does this guy post? What's his name again?
JP, John Pavlansky.
Oh, okay, John Pavlansky. I know I've seen his billboard.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, like the other day, he didn't feel like getting up, and he got up and he went to the gym or something like that. And I'm going, that's what people are watching? Who cares? I don't care less about somebody doing it. He goes, Dad, you don't understand. And he's talking, and then I'm getting it, and that's why we're sitting here, right? I tell you the story, like, you get to know these people, you start to trust the people, now you want to kind of know, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so some real estate guy was in here, we're talking about something else, and he goes, let me give you some perspective. So I'm assuming we can say whatever we want here. What am I saying? It's my show. No, but anyway. So he said, you know, the top real estate salespeople in Richland County do like 9 million forever or something. He goes, this kid did 22 million. This was like a year ago or something. I'm like, what? Like more than double what top people have been doing? So yeah, go ahead now. You're gonna start to talk about him. So yeah, I'm interested to hear about him.
Yeah, so it was the student was ready, right? So JP was come to me and he was ready. And I says, here's what you need to do. I wrote a book on it because I got tired of telling my same old stories over and over again. I said, give every new agent the book. I says, you read this book. When you walk out of this room, you have everything you need to know to go succeed.
Oh.
Don't come to me with, you don't have enough training.
Okay.
This book has everything you need. You don't have enough training. I'm like, but not everybody's as self-motivated as me. So we do have training.
Okay.
You know, and I do have a place and importance on that. But I says, you know, he came to me ready. And he took what I showed him and told him to do and then took it to the next level on top of that. So it's what I mean, people, and we preach it every week, and even he does, and he's very willing to share, there's no secrets. And he says, hey, if you guys do this and this, you would just do just as much as me. And how many people actually do it?
Oh yeah.
0. You know, I have a great team, don't get me wrong, and a lot of them do that to a degree, but not to his degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All you have to do is copy. We're out of school. You're allowed to copy people now.
Right.
Okay? Take someone and copy them.
Oh.
The successful ones.
That was one of my other inspirations, which probably was more yours, Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? That was his whole mindset, right? You find whoever's the best, and you just go copy the best.
That's it. Yeah. Yep. Love it. Arnold, we have to do the rest of the podcast in an Arnold voice.
Uh-oh. All right, okay, if you say so.
Reagan's like, is this over yet?
Yeah. Reagan, are you going to take a nap? Is this going to be too much for you?
Nah,
Are we too? Are we
too
too?
good.
Pete is intense, man. He's ready to go.
Are we too long yet?
I was gonna do some, take my shirt off, do some push-ups and stuff, like try to compete with you. So.
Okay.
Didn't you do a thing where you're out in a cemetery or park and you guys are running around with your shirts on or doing something crazy? There was somebody showed me one time or something. I was like, I gotta do that when he comes here.
So this sounds like a mix of all of the videos I've ever posted. I think it's yes to all of those.
Okay.
Some have been deleted over the years, but okay. And back to JP posting things about random things he does in the morning.
Yeah.
It's about consistency and omnipresence,
Okay.
right? And just being consistent with social media. I preach that to the team. One video every day. You guys should be putting one video out every day. I still only see that out of John.
Yeah.
You know, there are some that do a couple a week, and they're gaining some steam. Again, huge shout out to the team. We're the fastest growing brokerage in the area, so they are all amazing.
Yeah.
But it's my job to be their accountability partner as well.
Okay.
I want to hold them accountable so they can make more money and have more success for themselves and their families. So that's what I do. So we talk about JP, stay consistent, change to survive. I wanted to touch on this too, and this is what you're doing. The strongest doesn't survive. The smartest doesn't survive. It's the one who is willing to adapt to change survives.
Okay, yep, I did heard this recently.
Right, and that's what you're doing. So
Yeah.
kudos to you. You know, and you've gone from print. You still do the print.
Yep,
You know, you expanded into digital.
yep.
You're bringing the pod on.
Yeah.
The reels.
Yeah, the pods and the reels, we're gonna get heavy into social and for me too, we got into digital just goofing. I think we shared this before, and we did Cody with the specialty tree service.
Yeah.
And for me, it's always, and since we are supposed to talk about print digital, I'm take a little bit here. So, we started the print, it had just performed so well. You know, that's what really, for me, was the motivator, right? Something clicked, and I'm like, wow, customers are gonna love this, right? When they get experiences. Well, that was 30 some years ago, and there's things in there waning and that. There's still a lot of success in that. So the digital to me always seemed a little smoke and mirrors, a lot of Facebook analytics, this and that. In fact, I had Jared here one time. We had a little house of prayer here at the community center, and I'll never forget. He goes, "Hey, you're gonna have like 18." I did this thing on Facebook, and 18 people are gonna come tonight. I'm like, what? I ran to Sam's Club, bought some chairs. We normally have 4 or 5. I get there, it's the same 4 or 5. I go, what is up with this digital market? That was my impression, right? So along comes Cody, we launch on these sites, and the dude's doing like $100,000 a year off a few grand of so I'm physically seeing this now, right? Now I'm seeing these leads coming in through the little portal thing or whatever, we got the form fill and all that. That changed everything, that was the change part you're talking about. I had to see kind of this success, and then it becomes fun. Now I love it, right? It's not I heard this once, I'm an immigrant, right? I'm not the native. Reagan, Tommy, you're probably right in there, the natives that are growing up on this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm an immigrant trying to figure it out. I'm still not on any social media, so that's probably another big change I gotta do. But anyway, I appreciate you guys saying the change and we survived, but anyway, I am getting tired though. I'm already in fact, we might wrap up. I gotta take a nap. No, I'm kidding. We're not gonna wrap up. Oh, there we go. Just have some caffeine in it?
Yeah.
All right.
You're going to be great on social media. You've got a great personality. You're just authentic.
Oh.
So just push it out there.
All right.
I can't
You
wait.
hear that, Reagan? Let's pump this out.
Can't wait to see it. And you know where else? Yeah. And you know where else?
I'm ready to take my shirt off.
Yeah, the shirt will come off. You're going to be great at. You could probably help a lot of agents, just the whole real estate business as a whole, because a lot of agents are just lacking an online presence.
Okay. Yeah.
Just have a capture form on there, just like you did for Cody.
Okay.
And if you don't mind, I don't know if you have a sales rep or whoever needs to come in and talk with my team sometime.
Okay, yeah.
And
Well,
say,
Jeff
hey,
already,
Yeah, Jeff.
Well, you talk about change, okay? Here's a quick example, and this will relate to our industry and stuff. So needless to say, the print industry has been decreasing. It's been sort of, a lot of people have gone out of business and that. Well, and we closed a lot of markets, right? So one of the things we did, we formed a partnership. There's a company out there called Velasquez, and they do like 100 million homes a week in the nation, right? They're across. In fact, that's where I cut my teeth. That's where I worked for 3 or 4 years when I first started in the industry. So they're in the same boat. You know, our industry is kind of shrinking, so we're surviving, and then we start working together with one another. So back then at the time, we could only do our circulation, which was a couple million at the time. So they did a few, and then for the last 5 years, every year, they've quoted something, looked at it, didn't do it. You know, but Jeff never, persistence, right? And I guess that's maybe part of your script here. Is all this other thing. And that's my most successful franchises. When you meet them, I'm like, there's nothing special about them, but man, are they persistent? They don't give up. They just keep coming, and I think that Jeff just, even so if you'd say like in our industry, we've gone through a lot of adversity in the last. I mean, that 22 with the supply chain and everything, and just about wiped us out. And Jeff has been very creative. He just finds. In fact, here's a quick little sales thing. Maybe you've heard this. I like this. The guy said, I was make up New Zealand, I don't know where, but hey, I sent these 2 sales reps to New Zealand to sell these shoes, right? After about 2 weeks, the first one calls, said, hey, you gotta bring me home. Nobody wears shoes here, I can't sell anything. You know where this is going. Second guy's like, hey, I need help. No one wears shoes, I can't, they're buying all my shoes up, I need more shoes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's Jeff's story.
Let's see, where else was I going?
No, I do have a real estate agent up in Avon for Howard Hanna, and I'll tell you what, I'll tell Jeff the postcard, D-card.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, the post office was screwing up, not mailing them, doing this and that. I mean, this is the only time in my life I had to call a customer, and I said, and the post office has gotten really painful lately, I gotta admit, and we do everything we can to, most of the time it works out, but every once in a while. In this case, we could not even verify when this thing was going out. I mean, it got to the point, it was so messed up because it gets shipped to one place and back, blah, blah, blah. The important thing is I'm talking to, and it's one of my franchise's big customers, right? It's a real estate agent up there. And he's like, you call the client, I can't keep telling him this stuff. So I call the guy, he's not happy about it. I finally said, look, unless we can get the post office to agree to this exception, how they do things, I cannot even tell you when this thing is gonna come out. And I go, I can't even believe that it'd be like you saying, I could try to sell you a house, but I might not have the house. I mean, it was so ridiculous for me to even make the statement. You know, his statement back to me was, I just don't wanna miss out getting the car. So I'm thinking, we've just given you the worst service possible.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I could do what I'm saying I'm gonna do, and you're more worried about, that's how powerful the card was. And then he went on to say, this thing works so good for me that that's my number one concern. And I'm like, all right, well.
In other words, just get it out whenever it gets out.
Yeah, I mean, I think at some point that would be fatigued and it might drop out, but yeah. I was, so anyway,
Wow.
I'll put a little plug in for that D
That's how
card.
important it is.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful D card there.
So,
Hey, while we're talking about print and digital, maybe I could sell a little bit.
yeah, that's what it's all about. Sales makes the world go around. Print was at one time 100% your business. What portion of your business is print now?
It's still probably like 95%. I mean, it's 90%. Yeah, we're that now. What you to compare is maybe the growth rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the digital, and I don't even know I mean, that's really growing for us aggressively. But we're at a very low. It's one thing to grow $100,000 in sales. It's another thing to grow $7 million in sales. You know what I mean? It's like so. I will say this though, there is this whole resurgence, and I think it ties in exactly what we're doing right now. Been reading articles lately, and they said, and this would be something to hear what your thoughts are. Because here's a good example. I have a new franchisee came on, 32 years old. He has a digital marketing agency, and he wants to be in print. And he said print is coming back. It's going to be a lot stronger. And he said part of the reason is digital has gotten so expensive. But the other thing that's cool we've been reading recently is that Gen Zers are re-embracing print, and they've grown up in this digital age, and they just don't, they mistrust everything. They're looking for authenticity and truth, and print seems to have it kind of has a little truth aspect. And I think it's more expensive. You know, if you're going to spend money to send out a print flyer, people think it's probably more legit than getting some email that you could have barely spent any money on. So even to the point that and I've seen this in my own kids, right? I imagine you might see this around where they're sitting there with a phone, a laptop, the TV's on, and all this stuff, where they said even textbooks, because it holds their attention, they can actually focus on it for a little longer than they would digital. So to give you an example, most of this happened during COVID, but we've averaged closing 7 market, like for us a market is a town like Mansfield. We've averaged closing 7 for the last 7 years. I mean, that's a landslide, right? We're just going down this, that's why, whatever I got, I'm, like I said, survive or thrive, I'm trying to do both. This year, as an example, we should end up +2. So that's a pretty massive, and that's like a 9, you could say 9 market shift, and then throw that Huntington in there. We're actually having a very good year. Lately, I've been getting all these lead calls, and we haven't even been marketing the thing. So there's something going on a little bit with the print that you'd think I'd be ahead of it, but I'm kind of just trying to follow it, that maybe there is a little coming back to us. But it's still the largest part of our marketing is the print.
Excellent. Yeah, and to tie that into real estate for the agents out there and for your print folks who may be marketing to agents, when we farm a neighborhood, and again, going back to my man Grant Cardone, 10X, omnipresence. Omnipresence is the goal in marketing.
Okay.
So I want to knock on their door. I want to meet them face to face. I want to give them a business card. I also want to friend them on social media. I also want them to see my videos on social media. I want them to see my billboard. I want them to hear me on the radio. I want them to get my postcard in the mail.
Okay.
Right? I want all of them.
Okay.
So as an agent who is an independent contractor, who is an entrepreneur, you got to spend your money wisely, especially when you start out. But you should be budgeting 5 to 10% for marketing.
Okay.
Of your gross.
You know what you want to hear one of my quotes from the past? It's actually in a forward in a book.
Yeah.
Advertising budgets is for advertising that doesn't work.
Okay. I like it.
Well, that's when coupons are really hot.
Right.
I don't know if I could.
So are you saying, in other words, don't have a budget for advertising?
Well, let me say this. If I came to you and I sold you something for $500 and you got 10 grand back, you'd give me as many 500s as you can, right?
Right.
Why would you budget it? You'd be like, let me get as many as I...
Let's double down.
So when I sell a pizza ad,
right,
it's $300 and the guy get $1,000 back in net.
Right.
I'm like, why have a budget? Do as many as you can. But anyway.
No, and I like it. I like that mindset. But when an new agent starts out and they're broke, I'm just saying, they don't have any money coming in.
Right.
I try to get them to wrap their mind around, you need to start marketing. You need to spend, if you want to make 100 grand a year, you need to start spending 500 a month on marketing.
Okay.
And if you're not, you need to start thinking that.
Right.
There's also online leads for us. So we can buy leads through Zillow and Realtor.com,
okay.
and they can push on contact agent, and that contacts them. We
when they
pay
do
to be
those
behind
leads,
that button.
I've heard this with Home Advisor. Do you think they share those? Is there like dirty leads and clean? Like in other words, if you got a lead from a contact form on a website, that's a clean lead, right? That's coming right to you, the agent, whoever. When you buy them from Zillow and that, are they giving only you that lead, or do you think there's sometimes?
Well, here's how it works. They calls 5 people on our team at once. Whoever answers the phone first gets to talk to the actual person.
Oh.
And they say, and the goal is with the online lead is set the appointment, get face to face. All of our marketing steers toward get face to face with the client.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
So, yeah, that's how. So we may be sharing. the share of available leads, but the actual lead is yours if you answer the phone. Right. It's up to you then to actually close the deal.
Let me ask you this then, because the Brian guy, this guy I've talked about, he's a new kid here in Mentor, awesome kid, and he came up with this whole thing on how to handle leads. And one of them, this is embarrassing, I'm gonna tell you a story. They get called in the first 5 minutes, and you double dial, so they might be getting in their car, going to the bathroom, something, then like an hour or two later, it's real aggressive, right? Way more aggressive than I've ever been. So I get random franchise leads, like I just mentioned, come in. I'd call them the next day or later, after I was taking a nap or something. And then, anyway, so I thought, all right, I'm going to try this 5-minute thing. 4 for 4 now in the last week. I'm like, oh my gosh, I told my wife it's embarrassing. I'm 60 years old, and I'm just now learning this stuff.
I love the double dial. That's a great ad. Yeah.
Now, well, I'll tell you a secret. Reagan behind me, it like annoys him. He's like, oh, that's an emergency, and you're messing with me.
Right.
We're like, Reagan, pipe down. Don't worry about it.
Yep. No, I like it. Hey, try it. You don't know if you don't ask.
Reagan, you can pipe it in. I was trying to mess with you.
I really don't, like, if someone calls me twice, you better have an emergency, otherwise I'm not buying.
The emergency is, we have a marketing special that's going to make you more money. That's the best emergency ever.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what your time, do you want to hear another story?
Yeah.
Real estate story? This is a real estate story. So you could share this maybe.
Yep.
Okay. Me and my wife, our very first home, we go, I have a price, right? We go out, we find this house. Love this house. I go home. My father-in-law was like, wait 3 days. Whatever you do, wait 3 days. I'm like, all right. We didn't look at any other houses, right? And our friend was selling us. So he's just got into real estate. He's trying to be nice. He's our buddy. What happens in 3 days? Sells for list.
Yeah.
So my first reaction was, all right, well, we didn't really look at anything else. Must be something better out there. Oh no. After about 2 weeks driving around, I am pissed. Like, I'm like, first of all, your dad's a dummy. Like, we should have, like, how do you just say wait 3 days? We should have, and this is what I told my friend. I said, you screwed me by not selling me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, Tom, here's what you should have done. You should have immediately, you should have known what we were looking for, right? In other words, knowing our clients' needs and our preferences, and immediately took us around and said, wait a minute, Bill, you have no idea. This fits you guys perfectly. It's right in your price range. Let me drive you around right away and show you everything. I bet you that next day I would have bought that house out. You know, I ended up buying direct from a seller, like he was out of the picture after that. But I've never forgotten that, because I thought, and I've used that in my own sales. I said, sometimes you're screwing somebody by not selling them.
That's right. Yep. So I want to touch on the real estate aspect.
Okay.
And so hopefully I can motivate and inspire some folks to invest in real estate.
I like it.
So we preach you're going to be a real estate investor first, a listing agent second, a buyer's agent third. Because a real estate agent is a job. And it's often a nights and weekends job.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So do that and use that, but don't blow your money. Fold that back into your real estate portfolio, because those pay you every month regardless.
Okay.
Right? And that's how you create wealth, financial freedom for you and your family.
Rich dad, poor dad? I don't know.
Yeah, by cash flowing real estate.
Okay.
You know, you're doing a couple things. You're improving your net worth, and you're providing much needed housing for an area. And hopefully you're a good landlord and not a slumlord, because we need good landlords. We need 5,000 new units in Richland County alone.
Wow.
New units. Not to mention all the bad ones that need bought and improved.
Can you build one right now, or is that?
Oh, yeah.
Is it cost effective to actually?
Yeah,
do construction?
we're building a couple right now.
You are?
Yeah, we
Cool.
just listed one that we just finished. 300,000 over off Brushwood. It'll probably be in contract by the time, or sold by the time this airs. But we're gonna build about, not me personally, but the builder is gonna build like 50 homes back there. But even that's just a drop in the bucket.
So not an apartment building, but single family?
These are single families.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you build an apartment building right now?
You could, yeah, absolutely. We need them. We need the units. So 5,000 units is what we need. But yeah, getting back to it. So about Dream Huge. So we have our holdings. So we have what we buy and hold, which is my number one belief in real estate. Buy and hold for the long term. The market fluctuations will never hurt you.
Okay.
I will never get hurt for the market fluctuations. We're buying and holding for the long term. So we just got in contract another 56 units. We will have 200 units personally owned. You know, they average about $800 a month. So
Holy cow.
yeah, do the math on that. About 160 grand a month coming in off of rents.
Right.
Now, there's two mindsets on that. Hey, Pete, I just want to buy 20 duplexes or 10 duplexes and have them paid off free and clear so I can just have a better cash flow. I want to pay those down as quickly as possible.
Right.
That's fine too, and I like that. And either way, you're investing. But I would rather leverage my cash into bigger assets and more units, because that property portfolio is worth 20 million. So 20 million portfolio, and I'm just living off the cash flow. I'm not putting extra. I'm reinvesting in the properties again. I'm not a slumlord. I want market rate rent so I can put on good roofs, put in good driveways, have nice units for everyone. The appreciation alone on 20 million is 3% a year on average. So I'm getting 600 grand a year in appreciation alone.
Okay.
I don't care that they're not paid off. Every time I get $100,000, I'm leveraging that 4x into real estate, because I can buy a property with 20% down, right?
Okay.
So every time I
Trying to
get,
keep up with the math. 4x, what is that?
yeah, every time I get 100, I'm buying a $400,000 piece of property.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
So I'm leveraging it up.
Okay.
And then I'm doing that every single chance I get.
And it doesn't matter whether, like, you know, recently, I mean, everything was like, it's crazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
in fact, I just bought a little house direct from the owner, and honestly, the thing was like double what it was, seemed like 5 years ago, or I don't know. And then ones are going for higher. So, I mean, I just assume, you know, you buy low, sell high, or you wait till the market goes, but you don't. Like, you could, if you saw a good deal right now, you just buy it, doesn't matter if the market's up or.
We're buying every single year, every time, market up,
Okay.
down, interest rate up, down. It's kind of a dollar cost averaging thing, but yeah, we're always buying.
Okay.
Because over the long term, again, I won't get hurt. And I know prices are crazy right now, but they're gonna continue up. And here in Richland County, the average cost is $200,000. In Columbus, the average cost is $450,000. So
Okay.
people think it's high here now, go an hour south.
Right.
right? So it's still, I know it's sticker shock because those were 100 grand a couple years ago, and now they're 200.
Yeah.
Right? So it is shocking, but we're still very affordable here. Still a great place to live, and still plenty of opportunities for investment. So that's kind of my investing strategy. Now we will do some flips, we will do some new builds, but the majority of it is buy and hold for long term, improve the properties, get market rate rents, provide good quality housing for the community. So then we have the brokerage. So I preach that to them. And so the brokerage is an accessory piece for me. I'm mainly a real estate investor. So that's why we continue to be the fastest growing brokerage, because I can support my agents better than the competing brokerages. Because the competing brokerages don't have a real estate portfolio of my size that they can live off of. They have to live off of their agents.
Okay. That's what
Okay.
I'm saying, yeah.
So I'm able to pay the agents better, put more in their pocket, they can invest in more real estate, everybody wins.
Okay.
So that's what's really cool about the brokerage side of it. We're up to 46 agents, we're the fastest growing team in the area. We're gonna be number one before long.
Wow. Can we say who's number one?
Sure, yeah, Sluss. Sluss is number one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been in business for 60 years. We've been in business for 4, and we're already on their heels.
Wow, all right.
Okay,
Awesome.
so it's fun. It's a good competition, and I love my folks over at Sluss.
Yeah.
I got nothing bad to say about any of the competition. Because we do deals together. We collaborate on deals, even
Yeah,
though
that's true. You guys got to work together.
we
right?
do, even though we're fighting and
Wasn't
pulling
there-
for our client.
There's some new law that just changed with commissions or something? What's
Yes.
going on with that?
Yes.
Well, we don't have to waste a lot of time on the podcast with that.
No, it's essentially just saying that everyone has to agree on who's paying who and what commission rate is being paid, and that's agreed upon ahead of time and spelled out in the contract.
We used to do that before, right?
Yeah, they just more upfront. They want to make sure everybody knows that it is negotiable. And if it's so crazy that the one form says the commission is not set by law, is what the line says. And I'm like, what kind of crooked ass agents do we have out there that we're telling people, no, it's the law. You have to pay this percentage.
Yeah.
Crazy. They have to put that in there.
Wow.
But everything's negotiable.
Okay.
Everything is.
Right.
So there's nothing new there. It's just more bold in your face. This is negotiable.
Right.
And then that goes per deal,
Okay.
So the brokerage, we have the management company, property management. So again, we are investor focused. So we have 600 units under management that we manage for real estate investors all over the country. We have people that live in Utah that invest here in Richland County.
Oh, that's cool.
And that kind of opened my eyes up to the investing world, because we saw all these out-of-towners pouring money into Richland County, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
But the more I lived here, and the more I saw that, and the more I appreciated things I drove by every single day,
Yeah.
because I saw what these other guys were doing, I says, man, I need to follow suit.
Yeah.
So,
Now, how much of a hassle? Okay, so just from, I got one renter here,
Yeah.
sitting in there. And buddy of mine has like 50 houses, and that's from the Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's my biggest franchise. To your point earlier, he's
Yeah.
my biggest number one franchise, and he owns 50 rental properties too. So
Beautiful.
the guy just doesn't stop going. But the one thing I was wondering, how many people don't pay their rent, or slow pay, or complain about the toilet, or I don't know why that always looks scary to me from the outside.
it's an ongoing thing, but we have an excellent team in place. Shout out Christina and the team. A good property management team will definitely save you stress and make you more money.
So that really could put somebody between the owner and the renter.
Yeah, it's the
So it doesn't
buffer.
become, because I don't know how many times I've helped people pay their rent, and then I think, oh, what if someone's struggling, now I'm gonna feel bad. So if you have that, you don't have to, you can check out of that.
It's the buffer. Plus, I'm too nice. I tried being a landlord. I'm too nice.
Yeah.
And they have to have systems in place because they're dealing with 50 different investors,
Right.
600 different units. So they can't be nice to this one and then mean to this one.
These like squatters.
Oh yeah, yep.
Is that real? I
Yeah.
see on TV, but
We haven't had armed Venezuelans yet,
No.
thankfully. But yeah, we have squatters, and we have to have people, go through the eviction process,
what's the craziest thing? Like, did some renter do something
Oh,
like
man.
put in there, and you're like, what in the world? Is there something there's got to be some crazy thing that you can't even make up, like that somebody did to a house or apartment or left something there?
Dude, there's just so many things.
I'm gonna cut you off. Maybe it'll come.
I had one where the girl was in jail and all of her buddies was living in the place. And I said, well, where's Debbie? Oh, she's in jail. She's been in jail. I said, well, who are you guys? We're her friend. I said, you ain't on the lease. I said, can we get an application? I said, no, you can get out.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and there's always cases like that, but we screen our tenants very well, and the tenant is our business partner. Okay?
Oh, okay.
They truly are. If they don't do well, we don't do well.
Right.
You know, so that's the shift in the mindset. Again, a good property management company, great tenants, that's a formula for success.
You know, it reminds me of one of my little mottos I try to say all the time. Oh, you're good.
I'll go for number 2 now.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, I'm good. I don't have all the muscle mass to keep energized. Hey, I just thought, what was that, Reagan? It just dropped off.
I was
Anyway.
trying to mute his.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot where I was going.
You don't have all the muscle mass or something?
Oh, yes.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, before that. Thanks, Pete. Yeah.
I mean, like, what?
I don't know, I might get some muscle mass out here. I don't know.
Take your shirt off again.
Yeah, we might at the end of the show. Let's see. Oh, well, I forgot. Lost track. That's part of being, when you get my age, what are you, 47?
Yeah, it happens to me all the time.
13 years, you can see what happens. Okay.
What
How
I'll
old's
do,
your dad?
he's, I don't know, he's born in 54.
Oh, he's 10 years, he's 70.
So, yeah, just turned 70.
Yeah, I'm 60, so he's 10 years older.
Yeah, my big one is I'll have 3 really good points. And I'll nail point 1 and 2. But I get to number 3 and I'm like, So that's why I have my notes. But, okay, so we talked about the renovation. We talked about the new construction. We do the podcast as well. So we're up over 100 episodes.
Wow.
We've been working on that.
Where do you, okay, Reagan, maybe we can learn, like how, Reagan just told me yesterday I had to pay $10 to put this out somewhere or whatever. Where do you guys, how do you
So
do
we
that?
host on Podbean, and that's like, that's a yearly fee, and it goes everywhere.
You hear that, Reagan?
Yeah,
What do
we're
we-
doing
what
the
do
same thing.
Yeah,
Podbean?
yeah, it sends to Apple,
Yeah,
Amazon, all of them. Wherever
Oh.
Spotify, it shoots to all of them. And then,
So I can go anywhere and look, what's yours called?
the Dream Huge Podcast.
Dream Huge Podcast.
Yeah.
So if I go on like, I think I just have a podcast app or something
Yeah.
that came on my phone.
Apple
It's on all of them.
What do you have to type in for ours, Reagan?
Ours is Making Sense Navigating.
Holy crap, no one's gonna remember all that. Can you shorten that down
I
somehow?
mean, people aren't going to be searching for it. It's
Making
going to show
sense.
up in.
Oh, they don't search for it?
I mean,
See, I don't know how this works, Pete.
Similar
You teach us.
feeds.
it shows up in their feed and that people aren't really going to be
Oh,
searching to
okay.
find that specific thing.
So if they're looking up cats or something like this might pop up.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright.
Yeah, so it would also be on YouTube. We take a video version and put it on YouTube as well. We use Riverside. So we're able to go virtual and we can bring in the guests virtually.
See, that's
Rather
what I
than
was
in
wondering. Yeah,
studio.
that's what I think we need to do that to get.
I don't.
He's worried about the audio.
Both, I love, this is better. If you can
Okay.
get face to face, it's always better, I think. But virtually is nice because if I got to get President Trump on the pod or something,
Yeah.
I want to Zoom call him.
Okay.
Well, Riverside is what it's the same as Zoom.
Alright, so check it out, Reagan. 'Cause
Yeah.
I need to-
Riverside.
Get President
Yeah,
Trump.
I know the program.
He's got it.
Alright.
Reagan's on it.
Alright.
So
Yeah,
we also
sure.
have the battery shop. That continues to grow. We service 13 counties. Great team over at Interstate.
Hey, you got, so recently, well, I won't go into all the details, but there's a guy and he said that batteries changed. There was a thing, because you couldn't mail them, right? They were used to be made out of lead or
Yeah.
whatever, acid or something. Now they're made out of something else.
Yep.
And so he's trying to break into he's doing like mailing batteries to people or something on eBay or something. Is that true? Because
Yes.
it's so stupid the way your car turns on and off. I hate that.
Right. So there's still 90%, probably 99% of the market for automotive is still lead acid batteries.
Oh,
What
what if you realize that?
Lithium and rechargeables are making a dent, a small dent. Now they're really huge in, they're getting big in motorcycle, golf cart, and lithium is going to be the next technology. They're expensive, they're dangerous, and all these processes and all these lines have to be retooled to that. It may go that, it's probably going to be.
He called it something, is there something like AMG or something?
AGM. So
AGM.
Yeah, AGM is absorbed glass mat. That's a form of lead acid. So it's a lead acid, but they absorb the acid into the glass matting, which is a fiberglass mat,
Okay.
which envelopes the lead plate.
So you can,
So you can turn it upside down and nothing comes out. It's completely sealed.
like I say, it's crazy. You know all these motivational quotes, real estate stuff, and now you're sitting there telling us about a battery. That's just wild. It is cool.
Yeah, I just, whatever
And
it
I'm sure you
takes.
tell me what, best protein supplement to get my tries big.
Yes, that's right.
All right, sorry.
But no, so AGM is in the start-stop vehicles, like you said.
Okay.
That's just a fancier lead acid.
Okay.
It's still lead acid. Those you can ship because they're not free-flowing. But again, yeah, the battery shop's doing well. We talked about that. Real estate investors, getting back to that. So I know if you're a rookie real estate investor, know this: your first year you will lose money. Your first year you will lose money on the property. I don't care how good it looks on paper, because you got bad tenants, you got under rent, the rents are too low. You've probably got a bad, tired-ass landlord who's let the property go into disrepair.
Yeah.
So just be prepared for that.
Maybe raccoons and bats.
Raccoons and bats,
Yeah.
budget for that. And then, but again, if you're holding it for the long term, you're going to be fine. But guys come in with to this get rich quick scheme. Most entrepreneurs do. Let's get rich quick. How can we get rich?
Oh, I tried that.
No,
Still
I'm about
trying.
longevity. I'm about reinvesting in my team, reinvesting in the business, pay myself a reasonable wage, but over time is where I will get my payoff over
Yeah.
time. I'm not looking for the get rich quick. It never works. You said it. What was your venture into the get rich quick scheme?
Oh no, it was town money saver. I was hoping that was going to work out.
Okay, well, it did.
That's why I'm on the -5x. I use the same philosophy. No, but to your point, it was funny. I thought I was, right? Like when I first did it, and it kicked butt, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like taking candy from a baby. Everyone I get my friend, brother, whoever involved, right?
Yep.
What I didn't realize is within a short amount of time, I didn't know what I knew. I knew all this stuff, right? I've been doing it for 5 years with these other companies, and it was so easy to me. Now, I'm going to use this to lead into another. I did a commencement speech once at Lucas, and
Yeah.
here was my main thing. Find your gift and share your gift, and that's how you get joy, right? That's the, and I said, what's your gift? Your gift is what comes easiest to you.
Yep.
Mine's talking. My wife doesn't like it all the time. But anyway, that seems to be the thing, I guess. I don't know. But the point was, you don't realize what, like the stuff that you're doing, right? And yeah, that self-motivation and self-drive, driven and all that stuff, obviously it's a lot to do with it. But I would have to imagine, like I can't do accounting, right? If you'd made me sit down, can you do accounting stuff good?
Not really.
Yeah, I'm not.
Good enough.
Yeah, yeah. Like in fact, my sister, she's the accountant, right?
Yeah.
And she does all these every month. I get the profit and all this stuff. But I have this one little thing she's designed for me, like a coloring book I can read. Because I'm like, okay, where are we at? But I don't know where this is going, so I'm gonna go back to your list.
Yeah, no, and that's a great point. The accounting thing, and I wanted to touch on that. Being an entrepreneur, we're the last ones to get paid. It's a wonder we even get paid. And there are months where we lose money.
Oh yeah.
As the owners. So you got, your insurance, your taxes, all your overhead, and it's crazy how fast the expenses pile up.
Mm-hmm.
So being a small business owner, is not as glamorous as it's cracked up to be. That's again.
You listening, right?
So therefore, I don't never go crazy with the cash. I build up a reserve for operating cash. And I'm putting as little down when I invest in real estate properties, and that takes me over to this. Once you start investing for so long, over 20 years in rental properties, you can now buy properties with the equity you had in those ones you bought in the early days.
Right.
And you have zero out of pocket. And you can conserve that cash, and you get properties for free, and then it really builds and snowballs from there.
This all sounds like that Rich Dad Poor Dad book. I think. In fact, I did read it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like the other agents, I didn't do anything. I just read the book.
Right,
I didn't go make the
gotta take action.
I didn't do the one post a week.
Right.
Per day. One post a
Right.
day.
When the student is ready, the teacher appears.
What if the student never gets ready?
Well, you took action on other things.
Yeah,
You're good.
Yeah, I've been blessed.
So yeah, just solving problems, helping people out, and that's what we do. And again,
Oh, I know the same one. One of my other little mottos I try to say, and I really believe this. If you want to make a lot of money, it can't be about the money. It's got to be about the relationships. Would you agree with that?
100%.
Okay, so you did kind of say stuff that I thought.
Yes. The only way I bought all of my properties is through relationships.
Yeah.
It is the way to do business, to build a real estate portfolio. Is the only way. The most important way is through relationships. So, where I find my best deals?
No, where?
Eviction court.
Oh, that sounds
eviction
That
court.
sounds like you're just.
You make friends with the other landlords who are there, and they're like, I'm
Oh.
evicting another one today. I'm getting sick and tired of this stuff.
It's like, this sounds like Wedding Crash.
I'm like, really? I said, that's cool, because
Do you just hang out in there?
you can. They're public, yeah. It's like, and they're like entertaining. I mean, it's like they could put a TV camera in there.
Now, do you
But
remember a crazy story from there?
dude, I've seen
Maybe you better not.
oh family members. I mean, sons and daughters, and
Oof.
oh, it's bad.
Ooh.
I've seen people evict people who didn't even have a lease or even the name of the person living in their property. You see crazy stuff in there, but you meet people. Again,
Yeah.
relationships. And hey, if you're looking to sell, I'm looking to buy, we're in buy mode. And oh, you're looking to defer some capital gains? Well, sure, then maybe it needs to be a win-win.
Yeah.
Okay, I can help you defer some capital gains by doing a seller finance, and then you don't have any capital gains or very little because you've owned those for years. So we can both help each other out, and it's just building those relationships.
Cool. Are you tempted there? Like if they're looking really like things are going bad, you're like, I'm gonna lower my price just a little bit because they probably take it.
Well, they're most,
Yeah, I mean, you have to answer that.
no, I will. Most of those folks are savvy
Okay.
real estate investors. They know what they
Oh, because
have.
these are all the landlords that are evicting people.
Right.
So they're, yeah. Okay.
Right. Now, we will also now if someone's not very savvy, look, we're still going to treat them right. There's a whole business of wholesaling where you'll go and put a property in a contract. You'll go to old grandma and you'll knock on her door and say, hey, grandma, I know you think your house is worth this, but really it's only worth this. So if you could, go ahead and sign here on the paper and we'll get you cash today for your house.
Oh, I've seen Bill. Isn't there people out there that say cash right now?
Yeah,
Or,
and sign right here. That's what we don't do.
Okay.
What we would do, though, would say, hey, grandma, you got a hoarder's house here, or you maybe have a bad tenant in this house, and you need a real estate problem solved. Or it's got a bad roof, it'll never go conventional financing, grandma don't have the money to even fix the roof. So we would say, hey, we can list it for you for this, but here's what's probably gonna need fixed and what you could potentially walk away with. Or we could give you a cash offer for this if you'd rather have a private sale, nobody in your business, and you just want to close in a week and not deal with inspectors, not deal with the bank, not deal with all the repairs needed. Here would be a cash offer for you. But we're going to be transparent and give them options.
Okay.
That's how we would do it.
Give me the top 2 reasons the value goes down. People selling, like because I want, getting older.
Yeah.
And I got mother-in-law and stuff like that. And I see
Yeah.
this, actually my wife's best friend just passed away real young,
Mm-hmm.
and the last 5 years I think she was really depressed. They got a divorce and all this.
Yeah.
Beautiful. She's up in Chicago in a real high-end area. Oh my gosh, her house was just like kind of became a hoarder type house.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was just depression, illness, everything. And I was wondering, I thought, I wonder if this really drives it. Like, would you have to have an estate sale, clean? By the time you do all that.
Yeah, well, what we kind of went to on our flips too, because people go crazy on these flips. So what I would suggest is, this is a new little concept we're doing. Don't go crazy on the flip. Spend no more than 10% of the after repair value on the rehab, and then get it quick and list it and sell it and make it financeable. So in the case of that hoarder house, it probably needs a few repairs. It needs cleaned out. And in this seller's market, there's very little inventory on the market. So
it still is a seller's market.
yes, big time.
Oh, okay.
So just get it on the market.
Okay.
Make it financeable.
Well, her son's actually moving in this.
Gotcha.
But I just wondered
in general, yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you see the most common reasons people lose value?
So yeah, it's dated homes, and bad nasty homes. And when you're going to sell, the things that improve the value the most, maybe we could reverse engineer this. The best return on your investment is exterior items first.
Okay.
So your curb appeal, you got to get them to look in the house. So you want good roof, good landscaping,
Oh.
good driveway, good garage door. That's where you get your best return on your investment for updates.
Okay.
And then what you get inside is kitchen and bath. So
Okay,
that's where
kitchen and bath,
so
right. Which are kind of the more expensive.
yeah. So if you reverse engineer, if any of those things are off, that's where you're going to lose value the most.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
cool. Well, it's funny too, being, like I said, I'm 60, and I I thought our stuff was kind of up to date, right? You get old overnight.
Oh, yeah.
And then the kids, my youngest kid just got married, and his wife now, they're in the house, and they're talking about a house. And we, at one point, we were talking about we have all this cherry wood,
Yep.
it's on the trim. Like, we think our house is really beautiful. It's what we did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we'll paint that black. And these kids all like
Right.
black, right? They want everything black. And I felt instantly like my old great aunt, my aunt and uncle or something. I'm like, oh my gosh, we think we got a cool hip house. This thing's ancient. It's a shitty looking house that no one wants. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's so what is that? Like, we do love mid-century modern. Is there a style right now? Is that the thing, the black and white or whatever? I don't know what's the cool style going on.
The style is black, black or white. Very contrasting style, black or white, gone is the honey oak, the cherries, all the natural wood finishes. Those are all dated, and it sucks, because almost by the time you get enough money to renovate everything, a new trend comes out.
Yeah,
so
we're buying new furnace. We bought, I'm buying the second furnace. So we're at that point. I'm like, this is gonna be rough.
But if you like it. You just might take a little hit.
I don't even like it. We live there. We're like,
right.
We want to go the other. We love mid-century modern. Right?
Yes.
And our dream is to build a little retirement home out back. But we had that second home in Portsmouth for a while. I might have mentioned before, and that got us hooked. So we used to love going to antique shops and stuff. Now I'm like, man, it's all. I kind of agree with my my daughter-in-law now. I'm like, it does look kind of dated. So, but it is what it is. So a couple other things real quick. Music, like what influence did you have and how'd you get playing music and stuff, and are you still playing?
Yeah, I'm not in a band or anything right now, but I just love rock and roll and it just have that energy and Frank Medley got me started pretty much.
Frank Medley,
so he's a local rocker. He did some national music videos on MTV and stuff back in the day. Yeah.
Wow.
But he's amazing. He's another guy just helping people out. Just
really?
The more people I can help,
around?
the better. Yeah. So he has a weekly, he does a nightly jam night, and he brings the drums and all the amps. He sets everything up, and that's where I kind of cut my teeth.
Like in his house or something?
No, at different bars.
Oh.
At different bars around
Mansfield. You just
Mansfield.
got around and jam. Wow,
yeah.
Okay.
And you can just show up and plug your guitar in and go.
Wow,
so that's perfect.
okay.
You don't have to load all the gear and unload, because when you get the band going, and you think it's going to be a fun party, but you got to get there at 5 p.m. and you don't leave till 3 a.m.
Oh yeah. I met my wife playing in a band.
Right. So
we
you
used to
know.
play, yeah. In fact, so back to some of that motivation and drive. Do you find, because you seem this way, right? Like my mom told me when I was little, she had to run me like a dog. Because of my energy. It's just, I even told someone today, I go, I want to be done, and I'm 60, but I just got too much energy. I don't have all the awesome 10 time and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you think, Stu, there's some a couple things? Your energy, one, and two. What I wonder, do you think people can be like that self-motivation stuff? Because, and I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast, but I've already said a lot of other stuff I shouldn't have said, so what do I care? Like awards, right? Like we're big and we do the awards and stuff. And our franchisees are very proud of those. Like they put them on their letterhead and everything. I'll be honest with you, I never understood. I didn't really care about them. I never cared about award. I mean, I get them now because it helps our marketing, it helps our brand, right? Like, hey, you're in the franchise 500 or whatever. But it's a weird thing, like I can't relate to, and I wonder. Anyway, I'm just sharing it because you have some. Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, great stuff, Bill. So we have a quote that hangs at the gym. It says, "Nobody cares, work harder."
I like that.
And and I tell my team, I say, this is a thankless world. Nobody cares. I said, I care.
Right.
I care about you. I do. But I said, nobody else does.
Right.
So
and you can't walk around thinking something. Like, you want to be the caring, and people do. We know that, but yeah.
Nobody cares, work harder. And then going back to the energy thing, and it's a like-kind energy. And that's why Dream Huge is growing so quickly. Because I have a crazy high energy, and I want to help people out, and that attracts others that want to do the same.
Right.
That's the law of attraction.
Oh, okay.
What you emit, you will receive. That's why me and you are sitting here together.
Yeah.
Because we have the similar energy. And you are literally attracted to each other from the universe.
Yeah.
We all bounce around, but you choose your friends,
Yeah.
You know, and you choose who you want
I
to
think
hang
it
out
creepy
with.
when you thought I sounded sexy at first.
Right, and you do sound sexy. But so do I.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. We're attracting each other.
But yeah, that's the law of attraction, man. What you emit, you will receive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what that reminds me of? Do you notice how like people? Do you have a dog?
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't want one, but I have them around, right? But do you notice how people like their owners? They kind of resemble each other sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go down that road, but there's some stuff out there I've
Right.
seen that's just kind of creepy, where it's like the guy's just
Sure.
like his dog.
I get it. Well, it'd be the same with
They
father
attract
and
each
son
other.
or mother and daughter. Yeah.
Well,
You
maybe
kinda-
you had the one you had to birth. I mean, this one.
Right. Well, that's true. Yeah. So that makes
It might
you
be
should
some-
resemble your son.
well,
Yeah.
Well, let's hope so. There's probably been some court cases over that. So
Right.
I don't know.
I don't go to those court hearings. I just
Yeah.
do the eviction ones.
Yeah, I'd almost want to go watch people at the eviction.
Yeah. Well, here's the
court.
nice thing. I don't have to go anymore, but I'm missing out on all those deals now
Really?
because I brought property management on because my
Cool, man.
my late rents were getting way out of hand.
Oh, is that a trend we've had? Is it because you do hear?
No, it's just because I'm too nice.
Oh, yeah.
And I was letting too many bad tenants in there, so they've really done a great job of finding good tenants who are business partners, good business partners, and people who pay on time. And now they handle the evictions as well.
Okay. I have to
So-
admit, I took advantage of that. Remember my buddy Jim? I called you up.
Yeah.
Hey, Pete, my buddy's really old.
Hey,
Yeah, whatever. You're like, okay, Bill.
he was a good guy.
Yeah, he was
So
good.
we wanted to take care of him.
You know he died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day,
His
people.
mom was 104 when she died. I thought he
Yeah.
was going to make it a long time, but he
Yeah.
didn't.
104-year-old Jimmy.
In fact, believe it or not, one of my things I wear is if this was a little creepy actually, but he said, I mean, I love the guy, I shouldn't be saying.
Yeah.
He gave me this necklace thing, and he said, this is for you to remember me when I die. And I'm thinking, his mom was 104. I'm thinking, Jim, I might be going before you, you know?
Yeah.
And then he ends up dying.
Yeah.
So, and to be honest with you, I lost it. So,
No, Jimmy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He's always right here.
well, no, this is part of the story. His, like, aunt, I don't know what his cousin or whatever, they're going through his stuff. She goes, would you like one of these? He had all kinds of necklaces, a lot of feminine kind of stuff. He had all his neck. And one was exactly like the one. I'm like, oh, I got to take that one. That was the one he gave me. So I now have to do
You
that.
got her
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah, got it.
Yeah. Well, good, man. Yeah, no.
All
yeah,
right.
Help,
What do you think about-
people out?
So
But that's
Greg-
all for my notes. So if you want to, wherever you want to take it, or if you're running short on time, you
No,
can
good. That'll give me a chance to get started. So the podcast that I want to do.
Part 2.
No, no. We'll wrap up here. But you got any last? So just for fun, okay? You're the business owner, multiple business owner. Am I saying? Could you in any way summarize, since this is supposed to be about digital and print media, and I know we kind of touched on it, just as kind of in conclusion, any shout out, any thoughts on, from your perspective, how you see, and don't hold back. It's because I have, the print and some digital and all that.
Yeah.
Whatever you think out there, if you were advising another business owner, like where you're seeing success in your marketing, or whether it's failure, or what trends, or any thoughts on that?
Yeah, we touched on it a little bit. Like I said, you need to start with a budget, but yeah, don't keep locked into that budget. Like you said, that was a great point. But yeah,
Well, I was kidding around, right?
you should not operate by word of mouth. You hear people say, "Oh, I'm a word of mouth kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to grow organically." You will never bring success to your friends and your family with that mindset.
Right.
You need to think about scale. And the only way to scale is through marketing.
Yeah.
And the only way to market is by being omnipresent. So you just need to wrap your mind around that. I know it's tough to do on day one when you're broke, but you need to start ramping that
I
up.
will say, like, when you say omnipresent, and that's one of the old goat like myself, I was so focused on print mail, basically. And that is the part where if you talk about a change and having a shift, exactly. And man, that is, that, in fact, where we're pivoting in the company right now, and our summit coming up, is we're trying to position ourselves as your local marketing headquarters. And what we base that on is we said, there's so much confusion, especially omnichannel, right? I mean, I'm in it and I still have a hard time understanding it. So the local business owner obviously is going to have an even harder time when he's trying to run a restaurant or a real estate company or whatever. And so we literally and we're partnering more and more with people, like, so now we can do websites, we can do digital, we can sell you banners, real estate signs, whatever. We've got a relationship, we're just rolling out. And the whole idea is to focus on that trusted relationship and building that first and getting that, and then saying, look, we can do this stuff for you. It'll save you time, whatever. So the omni-channel definitely. Now, once you have that responsibility, like we do, of hopefully performing at a level that they're gonna keep us, it puts that responsibility on us to know those, right? Like how to use Facebook, correct? We're going through that right now. Just putting up validation posts, no, that ain't gonna cut it, right? You know, and you gotta do, sometimes you might have to spend a lot to actually get a lot. You spend a little, you get nothing, you know, I mean, so.
Well, and I think here's where you can help people too, and you already do, is, well, we're in the business of generating leads, not selling houses. And when I get a new agent and they come on and they say, well, I gotta pass the test, I gotta memorize all the vocabulary. And I said, you will need to know any of that. You need to know how to generate leads. How do you do that? By being omnipresent and getting face-to-face with 4 people every day.
Really?
That's how you build your
Okay, I like
business.
that.
And you're gonna take those 4 people, you're gonna put them into your CRM. We use HubSpot, it's a free CRM. And
Oh,
you're
really?
and
Okay.
it's gonna set a systematic follow-up for those 4 people. So you're gonna follow, not only are they gonna be in your phone, you're gonna follow up with them systematically. The hot ones you're gonna follow up with immediately.
Right.
The cool ones you're gonna follow up a month from now. But you're gonna get dinged every day on who you need to follow up on, and you're getting 4 people in there every single
I
day.
gotta check that out, HubSpot. I've heard that name. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
why
free. We use the
Or
free
maybe
version.
Take notes, will you?
We use
My
the free
assistant.
version, but you can also use the paid version. It's got all types of bells and whistles, AI built into it and everything. But then, so your help with the print, you know, and you hitting them regularly, that helps stay top of mind. You know,
Okay,
that
yeah.
systematic follow-up. But again, the goal of all of our marketing is to get face-to-face with the client.
I like
And
that.
then
That's
we
what we
have-
still,
then
and
we have to get
that feels old
follow-up.
school, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's something we're seeing too at our client base, is a lot of them too, once they get going, they don't wanna keep seeing you either. I mean, at least, well, now we're repeat sell, right? We're
Yeah.
constantly in there all the time. So we have to develop systems that'll make it easy for the client, even just basically say, change my expiration date, run the ad. You know, I really don't wanna talk to you unless I need to talk to you or whatever.
Right.
Okay, I don't know, man, I think that might be it. Seems like there's so much, I think I'm just drowning right now in all this stuff, yeah. Make it a wrap. Boom! Oh, you suck. Alright, no, you know, you're awesome. Hey Pete, thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Should
Appreciate
we play
it.
a little outro music, is that what it's called? We ended on a weird note, but alright.
Perfect.